tripartite, okay, tripartite framework of innovation, communication, and consistency. I repeat, innovation, communication, and consistency. So these three elements, they are like life principles, and they can guarantee you success in your personal life and in your businesses. So tonight, these principles would be dissected by three amazing speakers. So trust me, it's going to be an impactful engagement. And so I'm encouraging every one of you to have your jotter ready like this, because this session would be filled with invaluable and practical advices and recommendations on how you can grow yourself and also your businesses. Because of time, I will not run through the agenda, but I assume we all have the agenda sent to us already by the organizer of this webinar. So just a few guidelines before we delve into the program for today. I would implore everyone to mute yourself, except if you are called upon to speak. That's one. Then number two, if you want to join in on the conversation, you can indicate in the chat box, or you can use the hand raising feature on Zoom. Then finally, while the presentation is ongoing, please prepare your questions, and you can also drop the questions in the chat box so that the presenters can attend to them in the Q&A sessions. So, okay, let us move into the agenda because of time. Our first speaker for tonight is Uzoma Udoma. She would be tackling the first principle, which is innovation. Okay, so Uzoma she's many things. She is a veteran educator with over 14 years of experience. She is a certified coach with CIMCN. She is a communication coach who is deeply passionate about growing people, be it as individuals or as businesses. So, ladies and gentlemen, with a resounding applause, you can unmute yourself now. Please join me in welcoming Uzoma Udoma to the virtual lecture.
Okay, thank you very much, Oluwakemi. Thank you very much, Oluwakemi. Thank you and good evening, everybody. I see. Oh yeah, yes, we have more people join now. Good evening, everybody. So I would like you to quickly in the comment section, I would like you to type in the first letter. If you were to describe yourself using the first letter of your name, what would that be? So for example, the first letter of my name is U, so I am unique. So can I have you say, type in yours in the comment section? What would that be for you? Ha 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 ha. Audacious. Okay. Abdul Hakim is audacious. Okay. Is Abdul Hakim the only person in the room? Safia is safe. Okay. Martha is magnificent. Adeze is amazing. Nice is nice. Okay. Nice is nice. That's a good one. Grace is gorgeous. Dr. Theresa is terrific. Ooh la la, that's good. Oluwakemi is obedient. Are you LP? Oh, okay. So I guess for awesome, that's Amakri. Amakri is awesome, not Isogoye. Okay, thank you, everybody. I just wanted us to use that to wake up a little bit. Okay, Ejura is iconic. I don't see any I in that name. Ejura Okpanachi. Where is the I coming from? Incredible, iconic. I didn't see any I there. Okay. Okay, that's good. Thank you, everybody. And one last letter. But okay, the last letter in Okpanachi. What? That's interesting. That's how you understood it. See, perspective. Now that was innovative, I have to say, and that's really what I want to talk about. Okay, so first of all, you would notice that I'm going to be innovative this evening. I have not done any PowerPoint. I don't have any presentation because I want us to have a discussion, right? So I don't want to do the normal usual everybody PowerPoint and we're all reading off because I want us to talk. So my area this evening is talking about innovation. And what is innovation? I mean, there is a saying that nothing is new under the sun. There's nothing new. There's nothing we're doing in the world right now that somebody hasn't thought of or hasn't done before or hasn't at least even thought about it. So innovation, okay, we have a background noise. So innovation has to do with the way you are doing something. Innovation is about doing something new in another way without reinventing the wheel. So that's really what innovation is all about. But why are we talking about innovation in business? Because I know this is all about building our businesses, building legacies. Why are we talking about innovation? That's because you want to stand the test of time. That's because you want to become relevant. You want to remain relevant. In 5 years to come, 10 years to come, maybe by then is hologram we're using and not even chat GPT anymore. Maybe by then is hologram. But you want to still remain relevant at that time, during that time. So for tonight, I know I have only 15 minutes. So what I'm going to do is to share 5 ways. And these 5 ways I'm going to share are strategies that have helped me as a business to remain where I am today, to still be doing what I am doing today and still be relevant, and tomorrow I'm still relevant. So I'm going to be sharing those 5 things. What I would like you to do, so we have how many people in the group? We have like about 14 people. Yes, we have 14 people. What I want us to do is, so Kemi is the moderator, and the other facilitators are Dr. Theresa and Amakre. The rest of you, so Isoboye, I'm going to share you in groups right now. I'm going to share you in 5 groups. So please listen very carefully. This is the first assignment. So Isoboye is Amakre. Okay. So Dr. Wazingi, are you here? Please say yes. Wazingi, are you here? Is Wazingi here? In the other room? Is Chizoba here? Oh, Wazingi is here. So, Dr. Wazingi, you're number one. When I share number one strategy, you're going to be in charge. So you're going to help us to type out or echo the things or the ideas I'm going to be sharing for strategy 1. That's what you help us do in the chat room. Then for Chizoba, you're number 2. So when I talk about number 2 strategy, you would help us echo that in the chat. You're in charge of number 2 strategy. Grace Edibo, you're number 3. Adeze, you're number 4. Ejura, you're number 5. Safia, you're number 1. Taufik, you're number 2. Coach Izu Samuel, you're number 3. So that's how it is. Those are the names I can see here. Abdul Hakim, you're number 4. You're part of us. You're number 4. Okay, so I'm going to share 5 things that can help you be innovative in your business or as a business. Number 1, I'm watching the chat room. So those of you who I called for number 1, get ready, fast as fingers. Number 1, the very thing you have to do to be innovative. One way to be innovative in your business is to do what we call social listening. Social listening. I'm waiting for it in the chat. Social listening, listen socially. Thank you, Safia. Good job. Social listening. So as a business, you need to make sure that you are listening to what is happening. Social listening is a practice as a business, whether you're an individual or an organization. Social listening is you taking note of, keeping track of what is happening in your industry or what is happening with your niche. What is going on? What is outdated? What is obsolete? What is the reigning thing? You have to keep track of that news. This is not about you listening to news. It's about you following the trends happening in your session or in your industry or in your sector. So you must listen socially. You have to be aware, you have to keep track of what is happening in your industry. So that is called social listening. You cannot be innovative if you don't follow track and follow the trends of what is going on, because that's when you can get ideas on what to do next or what to stop doing or what to do better. Social listening is very important because we're living in the world of social media. We're living in the world where everything is on socials. So you have to follow and keep track of what is going on. You're a communication coach, you're a health coach, whatever it is you're doing, there is something going on online. There is a trend going on, and you have to keep track. HubSpot is a good tool to use for social listening. There's HubSpot. There is Sprout. Sprout is also a very good one. If you check online, you would actually see social listening skills. Those would help you keep track of what is going on in your sector or your industry. So number one is social listening. Number one group you have passed, tick. You kept track in the chat room. Okay, number two, how to be innovative. For some people, I haven't mentioned what number two is, but for some of us businesses, whether you're individual or an organization, you are so focused on selling your product, selling your service, sell. And maybe you have a product or you have a particular service that you render. You're just focused on selling that, and then you forget what number two is actually all about. So number two way to be innovative is called ideation, from the word idea. Ideation. You have to keep ideas coming. So ideation, in other words, content creation. There is no way you want to be innovative and you're not creating content. You're not creating what you're serving your audience with. So ideation is number two. Or where is number two? Yes. Chizoba, thank you very much. Okay, good job. So ideation, thank you, Coach Izu. Ideation or content creation. You have to create content. Now, some people say, when people hear content, they're like, oh my God, I can't do it. Oh my God, I can't do it. What is content? What I'm doing now is content. You have to create content. You have to come up with ideas to share with the people with your audience. That's ideation. Now I'm going to share 3 tools because today is all about, today is practical. So when you talk about ideation, when you talk about content creation, again, there are tools that can help you do this. It will be foolhardy of a business, of somebody, whether you're an individual or an organization, it will be foolhardy of you to just go ahead and create, oh, I have a product. We've been doing this for years, and whether you've been doing it for years, but you're not making any progress, nothing is happening. You're just stagnant. Something is happening. So when it comes to ideation and content creation, you want to use a tool called Ask the Public. So if you go online, Google Ask the Public. Ask the Public is what people are looking for. Ask the Public gives you what people are looking for, because what you want to do to be innovative is to go ahead and punch. You have to hit what people need. When you go on Google and you type in a word, Google will usually tell you, sometimes it will tell you people are also asking for, or what people are also asking for. You usually see that on Google. That's because as you're looking for one thing, it's telling you other things that people are looking for. That is innovation. You have to look at those things. People are talking. Again, you go back to your social listening. People are talking. People are going online and typing how to urinate without phone. It's funny, but it's happening. People are practically looking for things, how to sleep better, how to sleep on your side without turning to the other side. People are practically putting in exactly what their problems are online on Google. So Ask the Public is a massive, huge tool around the world that you can use. Just go to Ask the Public, type in what you're looking for. It will show you different insights and results and all sorts. So go and try it out. So we have Ask the Public. That's one thing you can use for ideation, for content creation. It will give you ideas as to what to create for the audience you're serving. Your audience is telling you what they need online. So don't go and create something that they don't need and you come back and complain that they're not buying it. So they are telling you what they need. So use Ask the Public. That is one. Another one is Quora. I think we all know that. Quora. So it's a platform where people are asking questions and experts are answering those questions. So Quora is amazing. There are millions of questions there and millions of answers, millions of expert answers are there. So number 1 is ask the public. Number 2 is Quora. And then number 3 is everywhere we look, but we don't even realize. On Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, comment section. When you go on Facebook and you see a post, go to the comment section. You see people are talking there. Apart from responding to what the post is talking about, you see people asking questions in that comment section. So that is you taking and pulling ideas from. Somebody might ask, please, you mentioned so tool. Please, I don't know how to use that tool. That is you grabbing it and creating content from that. Somebody has just said they don't know how to use something. That is you creating content on that. And the beautiful thing is that you already have a market for it. That's the beautiful thing. So comment sections are beautiful source of content for you to create content for your audience. So number 1 was social listening. Number 2 is ideation or content creation. And for that, you can use Ask the Public as a tool. You can use Quora, and you can just visit comment sections. That's number 2. Number 2 group, well done, you did it. I saw you writing and being active in the comment section. All right, number 3 group, are you ready? Number 3 is feedback. There's no way you can be innovative. There's no way you can do new things. There's no way you can do things in other ways, in creative ways, in beautiful ways, in ways that has not been done before. There's no way you can do that if you're not getting feedback from people. So feedback is very important. Get feedback from your audience. Get feedback from families, from friends, even people who are not buying your products. Just get feedback. Now, this is the thing about feedback. Some people are just looking for positive feedback. What is going on? Well, that's not how it works. You cannot be innovative that way. So you need to take both the positive and not positive, not very positive feedback. Thank you, Coach Izu. Group 3 said it. Okay, so that's feedback. Now, the thing with feedback is when you get the good feedback, what you want to do, remember we're talking about innovation, doing things in new ways, in creative ways. What you want to do with your feedback is when you get the good feedback, intensify that. Intensify whatever it is you're doing that is going on well. And the innovative parts, the things that are not going well, the so-called bad feedback, that is where you are capitalizing on to innovate. So somebody has told you, the last session you did, I didn't like the fact that we couldn't use I don't know, something. They've given you feedback. That is you taking that. Might sound negative, it might sound discouraging, but that's you taking it and then going to create something new, something beautiful. That is you taking it and going to innovate. Okay. Now, the thing about feedback, another beautiful thing about feedback is it makes you human. It makes you, your audience will know that, okay, you're not just somebody hanging up there and they are down here. So it makes you human. Another thing, beautiful, great thing is that feedback gives power to your audience. So you're putting them in the position to tell you. People love to give feedback. People love when you ask them to tell you something, to give you, so they're in the position of power and not just you. So that's number 3, feedback. Number 4, I love number 4. Number 4, people, are you ready? Number 4 is repurposing. Repurposing. Repurpose. How can we talk about being innovative in the business and you're not repurposing? Yes, Coach Izuri, makes you human. It empowers the audience. Feedback is a lift. Yes. So number 4 is repurposing. Sometimes you find that you are static. It looks like you're not growing. Thank you, Adeze. It looks like you're not growing. It's like after 5 years, hey, I don't even know what is happening. These people, in fact, today, I saw on Facebook today, somebody said, the caption of our Facebook post was, I am leaving. And what while she was leaving, she said people were not responding to her post, people were not responsive to her, so she was tired, and she said she was leaving, she's tired, people don't like her, whatever. And for me, that is where repurposing comes in. What I am doing here, the 5 things I'm sharing with you here, I'm doing it in a Zoom session, but I can go away today and I put these 5 things in an ebook, and I create an ebook. I can do a long post about this and it becomes a blog. I can do this, sit in front of my camera, and I stretch it out, flesh it out, and it becomes a YouTube video. So repurposing as a business is you taking one content and putting it in another format. Maybe from a blog post to a video, maybe from a video to a podcast, maybe from a podcast to an ebook. That's one content. Innovation is not about you creating 1 million products or services that you're not doing anything about. Because again, the audience, you always have to go back to the audience. What does the audience like? Some audience like books, some like audio podcasts, some like video. So that's one content that you have. Repurpose it. Make it a PDF and turn it into an ebook. Do a YouTube video. Do a podcast. Do a webinar. Sometimes you can record a webinar and then you can sell that webinar. So you don't have to be the one sitting here doing it face to face all the time. So innovation in business, you have to repurpose your content. Repurpose. Take one content and repurpose it. What we are doing here can turn it into a podcast. Abdul Hakim could have invited 3 of us, and we're all talking in the studio, and we're talking about our different experiences. That's a podcast. And we can do it here. We can do it live on Facebook. We can do it on Instagram. Imagine if we're doing it live on Facebook, we'll probably have even people who are not in the WhatsApp group, probably just, oh, there's something going on live, and they just tune in, because that's that way you're reaching out to them. Okay, so you have to learn to repurpose. Content creation is not about creating new content every time, every day. It's about repurposing. Create one content and repurpose it. That way you will see that you're doing one thing over and over and over again. That is being innovative. That was number 4. Number 5, ready? Are you ready? Thank you, Adeze. You did it for your group. Number 5 is collaboration. Okay. No man is an island. So once in a while, Ejura on point. Did you even let me finish? Ejura was on point. Like, I didn't even finish saying that, and it was already in the comment section. So that's number 5, collaborate. What we're doing here today, what Abdul Hakim is doing with us is collaborating. Abdul Hakim could have come on here and he's the only one talking about innovation, communication, consistency, but he's collaborating with other experts. So that is innovation. So what we're doing here has become a discussion, as opposed to him just sitting down there and giving the content out to you. So collaborate with other experts. Sometimes what happens with collaborating with people is, and this is beautiful, I have my community, I have my audience. Amakri has his. Dr. Theresa has his. Abdul Hakim has his. When you come together and collaborate, you see that you are drawing communities together. And what is happening is there are ideas, millions of ideas, expert gold ideas flying left, right, and center. That's what happens with collaboration. And again, while that is happening, you're picking out your content, you're picking out what you can use, and you go and innovate as a business. So that's number 5. Number 5 is collaborate, work with others. Again, this works even if we're not on a Zoom session like this, for example. You see people having guest bloggers. So I have a blog and I'm inviting somebody to come and write a blog on my blog website. So that's collaboration. even in podcasting, sometimes you invite somebody to come and talk in your blog, in your podcast, YouTube channel. This happens everywhere. So collaborate. When you collaborate, you are expanding your reach and you are also amassing content. Content is important because that is what helps you to be innovative. Now, the bonus for today, because I said I was going to give 5 strategies, the bonus for today is embrace technology. Embrace technology. I mean, how many years ago we didn't have AI, but today we have AI. So why won't you use AI to help your business? So embrace technology. And technology is not just about AI. So for example, automate your business. So instead of you doing things manually, automate your work. Okay, things that you can a human being, anything that AI can do for you, just let AI do it. So one way you can automate is even payment. So instead of people coming to pay you directly manually in your bank account, they will now start chasing you with the evidence of payment. just automate it. And there's a link that they go to. I mean, Seller is a good way. You don't have to be, even your webinar, people, you can put webinar on Seller and people pay for it there, get the link directly. You put everything on Seller. Nobody has to come to you and drag you up and down. I have paid, I have not paid. This one, I didn't see you. You didn't, I've been calling you for 3 days. You didn't answer me. So all of that. So try and automate. You can automate payment. You can automate your products, your services. You can automate your presentation. So basically, use technology. You cannot be innovative if after 20 years, 30 years, you're still doing things traditionally. You're still chasing people left, right, and center physically when everything is online. And there's technology basically for everything. There's technology for paraphrasing. There's technology for selling. There's technology for everything. There's technology for social listening. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for my time. I hope I was within my time frame. So, 5 ways to be innovative as a business: social listening, ideation or content creation. Number 3, feedback. Number 4, repurpose. Number 5, collaborate. And icing on the cake, embrace technology. With these few points of mine, I hope I have convinced, not confused you. Thank you, everybody. I hope you had a great time today. Thank you.
Please, we can unmute and give Uzoma a round of applause, please. Feel free to unmute. Okay, Uzoma, thank you so much for your beautiful and
thank you so much.
Insights on
Thank you.
On how innovation and how we can use this to build our businesses. It was powerful, and I really appreciate the practical examples that you gave. I would say I'm particularly curious about how you think businesses can maintain a balance between innovation and risk-taking. But then that would be in the Q&A session, okay? So because of time, we'll move on to the second speaker, Dr. Theresa Nwachukwu. She's online, yeah, okay. Dr. Theresa is a public health physician. She's a social entrepreneur. She's a public speaking coach. She's a content creator, and she is an author. She will be dissecting the second principle, which is communication. I know we all agree that effective communication is like the backbone for innovation, all right? So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Theresa as she gives us the breakdown of the interplay between innovation and communication for successful business building. Dr. Theresa, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Uzoma. That was awesome. I was taking notes copiously. I have all the points down because I didn't want to miss anything. And then, I'm really hoping that even though 3 of us, we have not spoken to each other, I haven't spoken to Amakri before today, and you, I'm hoping that at the end of this session, we can all see that we made one presentation, just one presentation, and somehow that it will all come together. Okay, you innovate, and then you communicate your innovation, and you stay consistent. I'm hoping that we can get that thread. So that
ICC.
Yeah.
ICC.
All right. So,
He has a name already.
yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, in 2021, okay, I have this quote, okay? I don't know any of you that has met Teresa Nwachukwu, right? Have you met Teresa Nwachukwu before? Well, I have, and I kind of like her. She has this quote that I really like, and the quote is, "Your message is important. If you don't say it, you hurt the world. If you don't say it well, you hurt yourself." Now, I love this quote because for me, it kind of encompasses everything that communication is supposed to do. You communicate, but ensure that you're communicating well. So I'm going to talk about these two parts, really communicating with people about what you do. You have an incredible product. We've just talked about innovation. You've used innovation to create this incredible service or incredible product. But if it's just in your house, if it's just in your room, nobody knows about it, then I can assure you, you're not going to have any sustainable business. So your message is important. If you don't share it, you hurt the world. How does that happen? Now, in 2021, a young photojournalist went into one remote part of Gwagwalada where he was working as an intern with a non-profit organization. The only health facility in this community was a one room in somebody's house. He was the doctor in this community. He was the nurse, the community health worker, everything. He was the imam, he was the pastor. The community depended on him. This young man, while visiting this community, noticed that there were lots of babies and even older people who were having serious diarrhea. So he noted it in his journal and said, "Oh, once I go out to Gwagwalada, I'm going to report to the DSNO and escalate that." So they could go into that community and check what is happening. He did not do that. 3 months later, when cholera outbreak broke out in the FCT, by the time it was picked up, over 3,000 people ultimately were affected, and that was being conservative. Now, it's very painful for me as the state epidemiologist to share this information. And I remember the minister of FCT saying this was embarrassing, that in the FCT we could still be talking of cholera. But you see, if this young man had given that, saw it, if he had communicated this message, I can guarantee that lives would have been saved. Because when that outbreak was over in 2021, we lost over 70 people in the FCT. That's basically more than the number of people on this call. So it helps us to understand how important it is once you have a message to pass it on. But now, it's not just about that. If bad messages, even the good things that you do. Karim here has something he's doing, the Skills to Gold initiative, right? This is a message that God has given to him. It wasn't mine. I didn't get this message. Amakri didn't get this message. Uzoma didn't get it. Kachi, you did not get it. It's his message. And he has an opportunity to keep it to himself. But like Uzoma said, if he did not communicate to us, I wouldn't be sitting here sharing in the spotlight, touching lives, having an opportunity to share my experience. And you won't be here to learn something new, to network, to make new friends. So the fact that he has communicated something means that everyone else is impacted. The message here is that once you have a message or you have a product, you have a service, it is not about you. Everyone who comes with a message needs to know that there's so many hundreds of thousands of other people that are attached, whose destiny is probably attached to that message. So if you don't give that message out, you hurt the world. Whatever it is, a service you're providing, whatever it is, if you don't give it out, someone is going to suffer for it. Now, late last year, a friend of ours was relocating to Australia and invited us to her house to kind of send her off. So we're sitting here and having these lovely meals. And just before we go, she comes out with these cookies that she passes around. Like you could literally see people eating these cookies and their eyes popping up. It was like, where did this come from? It was delicious. It was the ultimate in deliciousness, if there's a word like that. I had never tasted anything like that. And everybody was like, babe, where did you get this? Casually, she's like, I bake it. I do it in my kitchen. No way. We've known this lady for years, and not once, either in passing, either as a joke, either had we ever thought that she had this kind of skills. Right there and then, about 16 of us ordered over 100,000 naira worth of cookies from her, because she was like, I packaged it in 5,000, then this bucket is 12,000, this one is 20,000. So when we started saying, oh, you have to bake for us, she said, I know, I've packed my ovens. And everybody said, you have to unpack your oven. No, you will unpack it. Today is Friday. You bake these cookies, you bring it to church on Sunday. On Monday or Tuesday, you can carry your wahala and go to Australia. Since you could hide this kind of skill from everybody. And she just said, she was like, well, I didn't know, I just thought people knew. No, if you don't share your message, people will not know. This is important because we find that it's difficult for us to share the things we do, to talk about ourselves and our skills and what we perceive as our strengths. On LinkedIn, in the a couple of weeks ago, I participated in a 20 days content creation challenge. And one of the things we had to do was to, at the end of it, make a call to action, share what you do, talk about yourself and your skills. And I found it so difficult to do. To say, oh, I'm a public speaker, I need you to come and hire me, I'm really good at this. It was so uncomfortable for me. And I found out that selling is really something we're not comfortable, at least many of us are not comfortable doing. We hide behind, do I say modesty? We hide behind, oh, I don't want people to think that I'm proud and arrogant. But if you never share your message, nobody will know what you have with you. Nobody will know the power that you carry within you. So once you have innovated, once you have created these amazing products, amazing service, you've put it all together, you must find a way to let people know that you have this process. And that is where communication comes in. Your ability to communicate will design how much you're able to sell. Because converting your skills to gold means that you're making sales. You come into the world with nothing, you're naked, because you know what? God has given you the skills that will enable you to get the gold that you need. And the gold is just a medium of exchange for whatever you want, but you have to give something to get the gold. And it is the skills you have. And how will people give you the gold for your skills if you never talk about it, if you don't find a way to communicate it? So your message is important. If you don't say it, you hurt the world. Now let's take the second part of this message, which is if you don't say it well, you hurt yourself. It's not just enough to go out there and say, oh, I have this product, oh, come buy it. When you are selling, you have to communicate in an authentic way that people relate with. Take note that, like I said, your product is not for you, it's for other people. Your skills, whatever things you're doing, it's for other people, it's to bless other people. People don't really care about it. All they want is that you solve their problems. So when you are communicating, you have to communicate in a way that tells them what they will benefit. And so at this point, I will give you these 3 formulas. The first thing you want to do when you're sharing your message is, who are you? What do you do? To whom? And for what purpose? So your message communicating what you do must have those elements. Who are you? What do you do? To whom do you do this to? And what's the purpose? So if you are a content creator, you say, well, I am so-so, I'm a content creator, I create content for ABCD for the purpose of giving them visibility on this social media platform. So that's what you need to do. Daria, I'm looking at you. If my time is up, please just give me a thumbs, give me a sign, right? So that's it. And then the final thing when you're communicating your services is to use the EDGE formula, what we call the EDGE formula. So one of the longest living products on the surface of the earth is Coca-Cola. And if you have watched adverts of Coca-Cola, you see that they never talk about the color of Coke, the nice bottle, how fizzy it is. No, they talk about the experience, the bonding that happens between families or between lovers, the emotional moments that happen when you drink a Coke. So they focus on the experience. So the EDGE formula of selling or of communicating your product, talk about the E, D, G, and E. The E is what experience will people have when they use your product? So focus on the experience, not on your product. They don't really care. Anything that gives them that experience, they'll go for it. So what experience will they have? The D is what will they do better? Are they going to be more stronger? Are they going to be healthier? Are they going to be powerful? What will they do better if they use your services or your innovation? What will they gain if they use your services or your products or your innovation? And then how will they enjoy their lives better? So that's the EDGE formula of communicating your power. So that would be my message for today. If you have an innovative product, you have to share it with the world because it's not about you. And you don't just share it with the world, you share it properly and effectively. Thank you very much. And I hope this was beneficial. I'm out.
Dr. Teresa, I can say I'm a bit lost for words because your message seems to be for me. So for example, I am an academic doctor, but I don't like to introduce myself as a doctor. When they ask me, what's your name? I just say, my name is Oluwakemi. For certain reasons, I find it uncomfortable introducing myself as a doctor. So I would say a big thank you to you, all right? And so from your message, I have 3 take-homes. Number 1 is that we have to learn how to tell our stories. Number 2, we have to learn how to sell ourselves. And number 3, whatever it is we have, be it a talent or a skill, it is not for us, it is for the world. So thank you, Dr. Teresa. I would implore you and the other and Uzoma Uduma to please stay online till the Q&A segment because I'm sure we have lots of questions for you to tackle. So right now we have dealt with communication and innovation, but there is still a missing element, which is consistency. All right. We all know that consistency is the recipe for success. So for every business, consistency is like the key for you to build your brand identity, for sustainability. So ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce our next speaker, Amatri Isoboye. It will be shedding light on consistency, on how we can use this to build a lasting legacy, all right? So Amatri Isoboye is an HR consultant. He is an author and is a podcaster. So ladies and gentlemen, join me in warmly welcoming Amatri to the virtual lectern. Amatri.
Good evening.
You can unmute, please. The floor is yours.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Oh, I see somebody. Joseph, you're here. Good evening.
Yes, sir.
Good evening. Oluwakemi Dara Idowu. The name is Amakri Isoboye.
Okay, Amakri, noted. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. I enjoy it when people call me by my name. It makes me feel good. You know, I feel good when you call me by my name. All right, thank you for having me. I don't know if I have anything to say here, if not just to applaud the first and second speakers, because they have more or less laid a good foundation for what I am about to say. They used all my examples. You know, I was like, I'm going to talk about Coca-Cola, and some about Coca-Cola. and somehow innovation, she talked about innovation. But I want us to look at this from this point of view. We're creatures of habit. We are creatures of habit. We form a habit, and that habit end up forming us. If you understand what I mean by that, it's either it makes us or it destroys us. But whether you believe it or not, we all are responding to a particular habit we have formed over the years, be it consciously or unconsciously. But somehow it drives us. And again, when you form a habit, all right, when you form a habit, or whether you like it or not, it works on the scale of time, because human life is expressed on the scale of time. So all of us come to like understand, this habit over time. Before you know it, you're becoming that thing. Whether you are successful, as we know success to be, or not, somehow you are successful at something. Either successful as a failure, not that you failed, but now you've resigned yourself, like this is my lot. So you continue in that, or you rise up from that and you become what we really call success. But all of this runs on that principle of forming a habit. And it's all about waking up in the morning, doing the same thing. Either you want to describe it the same way, or you bring a level of finesse to it. Just like what Coach Uzoma said, a while ago. You're listening to your environment. And the essence of listening to your environment is because you want to bring about change. You want to like move from one level to the other. So how do I do that? How do I do that? I begin to look for tools, what we may describe as technology and all of that. I begin to do that. But listen, if you don't do it in one day, you don't do it in 2 days, you don't do it in 3 days, not even a week, not even, no, you keep at it. You keep doing it. Just like what Pastor Chris will say, there's a message you preach once that you hear the word, you keep speaking it. You keep speaking it. You don't stop speaking it. The essence is, as you continue doing, there's a pattern that is created. A pattern is created. And somehow that pattern forms a rhythm. And your rhythm opens up that energy that brings you to that stage. Let me explain what I mean. These 3 things. You form a pattern. The pattern leads to a rhythm. The rhythm leads to what? It opens up a source of energy, like a portal. That energy you receive drives you to like live your life, not to exist. You want to live. Let us use a musical note, for example. Let's use music to cite it. Now, for those of us who are musical lovers, if you listen carefully to a musical piece, you will see it is an organized noise that follows a pattern on a consistent base. You just start to enjoy it. It releases this energy to you. So now, if one out of the so many notes falls below the consistency pattern, we notice it. You just turn and look at the music team or whatever. It's like, somebody did something wrong there. So they have created a pattern. That pattern creates a rhythm. That rhythm opens up an energy, and all of a sudden, everybody part of that, should I say, piece, wants to express themselves. They want to live. They want to get noticed. They want to like give their best. But it runs on the platform of consistency. Now, Coca-Cola, I use Coca-Cola because I had it in mind, and thank God, Coach, was that Dr. Teresa talked about it. Coca-Cola has been around for more than 100 years. And one day I asked myself, what is it about Coca-Cola that we are so fascinated about it? Even unborn children are fascinated. What is it? Coca-Cola initially was designed for medicinal purposes. I don't know if you guys know that. For medicinal purposes. That was what Coca-Cola was designed for. But its appealing nature drove it to the point of an experience, just like what Dr. Teresa described at the EDGE formula, an experience. And everybody wants to have a feel of Coca-Cola. The content of Coca-Cola, people say, we don't know the formula and all of that. But one strong, aspect of Coca-Cola is caffeine, which is, if you look at it, it has a therapeutic essence, like it helps relax your muscles and all of that. That aside, but what drives us to it? It has been around for 100 years. So Coca-Cola can tell you for free the human experience for over 100 years. It's been around in different location, different geography, different cultural experience. How best can you describe something that consistency, if not using such? So if somebody sees you pick up a bottle of Coca-Cola and you're drinking it or you're gulping it, what comes to the person's mind is, I want to have a feel of what you're enjoying, because so many times you see us that expression on our face and everything. But simply put, this product has been around for 100 years. It has met the standard of human experience. Is that not consistency? What else are you going to call that? So Coca-Cola would have started with, okay, what did we not do right? This content is a bit hot. Okay, let us add some ice to it. Okay. Okay, let us use a glass bottle. Let us see. Okay, in the US it sells better in the Black community. Okay, and some people like it, when it comes in that illusion form, like a big bottle, but the content is actually small, but it's just like that. Now, they have sat down to study the human experience, what is consistent with the way we express joy and all that. So now what do? Let us give them a heightened experience that is consistent with their well-being. That even when you tell somebody Coca-Cola has 20 cubes of sugar, they say, don't worry, just give it to me, I'll drink it, I'll gulp it. Because it gives me that feeling that is consistent with that experience. So for any business to thrive, to be there, to meet the needs of the people, you must of a necessity understand what it means to be consistent. Now, people confuse consistency with I showed up. I showed up. No, that's not it. You didn't just show up. Every showing comes with a unique presentation. Every showing comes with an intentionality. You are consistent with that experience you're giving to people. So the expectation I have when I see, or the expectation I have when I see Uzoma or Dr. Teresa is, I know she's going to say something that will make me go back and change my model or change how I perceive things. She is consistent with her uniqueness. That tells me the bearer of the consistency does a lot of homework, does a lot of research. I'm going back to what Uzoma said a while ago. He or she listens. He or she looks at, what would I give that would bring? You're serving the same thing. You're serving the same thing, but it's like saying serving it in different flavors. You're presenting it in different flavors. You're like a masterful chef that takes carbohydrate and makes it look like protein. That is carbohydrate. But you bring that edge to it. You bring that side to it. You are consistent. I'm going to, please signal me when it's five more minutes for me. I'm going to use another example to talk about consistency. You know, Michael Jackson. A lot of us know Michael Jackson, even if he's dead and gone. But when you study the life of Michael Jackson, his art and what he does, he spanned over I think, 30 plus years in his career of music, dance, and what have you. But when you study him, he takes other people's art of years ago, improves on them. His dance steps, most of them were copied. A lot of us don't know about that, but when you research, you see it. Most of them were copied. His dress pattern and everything, they were copied. But there was something unique about his copying. He takes it and he looks at the trend, just like what Uzoma said earlier. He looks at the trend and it's like, okay, I want to change the trend. Now, if you look at when he did Bad, one of his albums called, it was titled Bad, when he said, who's bad? I'm bad, with that song. The way he dressed, if you look at the way he dressed, large chains, bling blings, and all that. Go back. That song was done sometime, I think, in the late 90s. Check the dress pattern of that time. All of a sudden, young people started going for that. Check when he started Jerry Coil hair. He was consistent with his art, presenting something unique. So it's like we know that when he is coming up, he is bringing something unique, but he doesn't run away from his core value, being giving you an experience. So all through his career, it was that way. So the human mind loves pattern. We all love pattern. Check your life. We all love pattern. We go over and over and over and over. Have you realized, for those of us who work in corporate offices that has conveniences, marked 1, 2, 3, 4. If what I'm saying is true, just either give a nod or something. You always go into a particular convenience. True or false? There's somebody, when you go into that general, there's a particular one you always go to. That's the human nature. You just want to keep that experience. Maybe the first time you went there, that place was clean. You like the way, and all that. You want to keep there. So you have created a pattern. And each time you go into that particular zone, there's this rhythm that flows with you. The minute you try to break out of it, it's like something is not, sitting so well. But listen, if you want to take it to the next level of experience, like we say, sustainability, you have to break away from that pattern or that mode. Rather, you now create a new pattern. You're now consistent in that pattern. And you just see, okay, fine. This is growth after all. It's just like saying the metamorphosis of a butterfly. You get to a certain, you shed, you grow. You get to another limit, you shed, you grow. You get to another limit, you shed, you grow. But you don't fall away from your pattern of being consistent. So if you want to be that sustainable business, you want to always show up. You always want to be in the face of people. Then you must understand your uniqueness. I want to serve something. I want to give something. You must understand your uniqueness. You must stay within that frame of consistency, like that pattern. You have created a rhythm. So you're just going on that rhythm, but there's an energy level that has, come to you. So you receive it and you move on. So now, but I want to go higher. What do I do? Still within the framework of being consistent, I raise my rhythm level or my pattern level, and it goes higher and higher, and I begin to like give out more from me, my message. I don't know if I got you there, but this is how to keep it going. Check every business that has stayed 100 years plus, 50 years and above. They follow a given pattern. The engineers will say, if it's working, don't fix it. If what we are doing is working, don't fix it. But if we want to give a better or a higher experience and value, what do? We change, or would I use the word change? Change in a positive sense. Change is just like saying you're changing your gear from gear 1 to gear 2. You take it to that, but you're still within your pattern, your frame, your rhythm. Wow. I think I'm going to end with this. I'm using mine as my life as an example. I started writing actively sometime in 2017, and I realized each time I show up on my screen to write, to put something down, they call it writer's block. It doesn't flow. But I now realize that writer's block is an illusion. I will explain. You see, when you are bored, that is the best place for creativity to come forth. So what did I do? Out of my boredom, I just look at my screen and I begin to type anything that comes to my head. I did that for the first day. I did that for the second day. I did that for the fourth day. I realized I was creating a pattern. And all of a sudden, a floodgate was opened. Every time when I sit to write now, I just write. And when I'm done, I ask myself, who wrote this? So it's all about that thing. You create a pattern under a discipline, you keep doing it, and you're forcing your muscles, and before you know it, your biceps are all grown up. No audio? Did I lose you? Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Loud and clear.
All right. Okay. Somebody said no audio. I think it's from your network. So that's how I want to end this. That's how I want to end this. Patterns, rhythm, energy. You leave. You go through it again. That cycle. You go through it again. That cycle. I say this and I drop my mic. The Lord created on the first day. Check what I want to believe most of us here, if not all of us, read the Bible. The creation story starts with day 1. Check. Day 2, day 3, day 4. Check the way it was going. God was creating a pattern. You see, it ends with evening and morning made the first day. Evening and morning made the second day. Evening and morning made the third day. Evening and morning. There's a pattern. There's a rhythm. There's an energy level. And what did he do? The 7th day, he created a pattern of rest. The rest is not necessarily no more work, but rather stepping back and appreciating creation, and you smile. And you know that the 8th day, you have received so much energy, you start creating again. Thank you.
Beautiful. Patterns, readings, energy. Thank you, Amakre. For me, I believe that we cannot be anything if we don't keep at it intentionally. So it is a general knowledge that success requires consistent hard work, right? But I think that the problems that many individuals and businesses have is how to maintain that momentum of consistency. So I would like you to shed light on this, perhaps during the Q&A session. But then before we move on to the last speaker for tonight, Kachi Unwachuku, are you there? Could you, in 5 seconds, tell us your take-home message from this last presentation? Kachi Unwachuko, are you there? Can you unmute? And then if not, can we pass on the baton to Ejura Okpanachi?
I can't hear anything.
Can you hear me? Hello?
I can hear you loud and clear.
She may have
Okay.
to log. She may have to log out and log in again. I think it's from her network.
Okay. Ejura, are you there? Okay. Safia, I would like to confirm if our participants are still with us. Grace Edibo, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, lovely, Grace. Could you tell us what your take-home message from the presentation of Amakre? Just briefly, 5 seconds max.
Okay, consistency would help you create pattern, and then
Yes, here.
my
Yeah.
take home from
Beautiful.
what he said.
Ejira, do you have something to add to that?
Not really. I mean, she just said it's the patterns, the bit about patterns, how our brains love patterns. I know I love, synchronization and patterns and following a systematic way of doing things. So that hit home for me. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Thank you for your active participation. So it is my pleasure to introduce the last speaker for this evening. It will be delving into the topic from skill to gold. So our speaker is a public health professional. He's a trainer, and I believe one of his beliefs is that everyone should be able to earn from what they enjoy doing. So tonight, he would be sharing some valuable insights on how we can unlock the potential within us, how we can build businesses that can outlive us. So please join me in giving a warm welcome to Abdul Hakim Abdul Karim. The floor is yours.
All right. Thank you very much, the prolific and amazing moderator for tonight's session. You're doing an amazing job. And for all the speakers so far, you guys, you did justice to this. I can't thank you good enough. Thank you very much. What is legacy? I want to start with this. Can anyone give me the definition of legacy? You can unmute to define, or you can put it in the chat box. What does the word legacy mean? Legacy. What does it mean? I'm awaiting. Anyone? Definition of legacy. What does it mean to you?
Can I?
Yes, please go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so legacy is what you want to be remembered by, what you're leaving, what your impact is.
Thank you very much. Do we have anyone else? Let's take one more. Leaving something behind. Daisy. Thank you very much. Okay, one more. One more. What you want to be remembered for, something that is passed on to future generation. Exactly. I love the fact that two speakers talked about Coca-Cola. Be it lasting memory, be it selling moments. What Coca-Cola has created is legacy. And legacy is what your story is. What do people say about you? That's your legacy. As human, we come to the world to do something. And if we do it right, then we leave memory of that. If we do it wrong, we are forgotten. And I'm sure you don't want to be forgotten. You don't want to be that person that comes to somewhere and before you leave, to even forget you were there. I like to tell myself that whoever I converse with, I leave a lasting memory with that person. If I'm in your influence of network or your network of influence, I like to think that there's something that I leave that is of positive value to you. If that doesn't happen, then there was no reason for that meeting occurring. Now, to take this from the skill to gold angle, in the world we live in today, you like it or not, you're going to spend, right? You will spend. If you're earning and you can take care of your expenditures, that is good. It's well enough. But what if, just what if, what you're getting is not enough? There's a song that says, even Dangote still they find money. So if someone like Dangote is still interested in increasing his earning capacity, do you feel like you're earning enough? There's this thing with passion and skill with monetization. If what you value, if what you enjoy doing is paying you, your passion grows deeper. Your love for what you do grows wilder, and you do it more. You give your energy more to it. This is a Japanese term that we call ikigai, finding happiness in what you do. You either do what you love, or you love what you do, or you enjoy complaining continuously, right? So for me, right through school, public speaking is one thing I enjoy. But at the onset, I wasn't so sure about it. There was a time in school where I was delivering this presentation and I was really shaky. You can hear it from my voice, but I kept at it till I finished, even with the shakiness. Then, the second time, it was a bit easier. The third time, it was easier than the first and the second, and I kept at it till I got to where I am today. I like to believe that I can communicate with anybody from any part in the world. You take my message or you don't take it, but the message will be shared. Can you hear me? The message will be shared in a manner that what I intend is conveyed the way I intended. I'm still growing. That's the consistency, keeping at it until you get to where you need to be. And when you get there, you realize that there's more work to be done. Innovation is required because the world keeps changing. The first speaker, Coach Uzoma, gave us a lot of nuggets into innovation. You have to be innovative to keep up with the pace of the world. Yesterday, you were at home selling clothes, and today everybody's marketing online. So if you own just one store and someone is marketing to the global audience, who do you think will get more value for that product? So innovation is required. You have to keep up with the pace of the world. The second, we heard about communication, and I like that quote of yours. You have a message, right? You have that skill, you have that thing that is God-given, and if it wasn't at birth, you have the innate ability to learn any given skill, anything at all. I've seen a 55-year-old man, a 70-year-old man learning how to play piano. I've seen a 50-year-old man learning how to ride a bicycle with grandkids. So anything is learnable. Now, you have the skill. If you keep it to yourself, the likes of Lionel Messi, Ibrahimovic, Ronaldo, Abraham Lincoln, and the likes, they have this potential. Imagine them keeping it to themselves, keeping it to themselves, and it's just there at home with them. We wouldn't know of them. Ronaldo at his backyard playing football, nobody would know of him. So he conveyed this to the world, and he did it rightly. So he is where he is today. I'm not saying that coming out to tell people that, hey, I'm good at this, would make people to patronize you immediately. This is where consistency comes in. If what you do is good, you're aware that it's good, you include innovation in it to keep up with the trend of the world. We've had a lot of generation. We had the baby boomers, we had the Generation X, we had the Generation Z, we had the millennials and the likes, and more are still coming. There are certain things that certain audience would buy and certain will not buy. So you have to know how to balance between this trend of individual. I like that it also came up that you need to market yourself. Nobody will market you, right? Market yourself. But for you to market yourself, communication is essential. I didn't get that. We caught ourselves. Okay. Communication is essential. Innovation is essential. And it is required that you stay consistent and on track. Have your overall vision in mind. What do I want to achieve? At the end of this, what do I want to be the end result for me? Right? And you keep at it. You keep going at it. It's like a rhythm. Our speaker, Mr. Amakri Isoboye, said something that I liked. He said musical notes. He used musical notes to describe consistency. Imagine you are at the piano playing and you hit the first key. You said, oh, I'm not good enough. Let me stop. You've not created rhythm. There's no music there. But you hit the first, you hit the second, you hit the third, and you keep going. Then you create a rhythm, you create a pattern, and this becomes enjoyable to the ear. It becomes enjoyable to human listening. And with that, you've created music. You keep at it and people keep enjoying it. For Skills to Gold, it is my sole belief that everybody should be able to earn. And what better way to earn than from what you enjoy doing? That's the legacy. For me, I want to monetize what I enjoy doing, and not just monetize because it's paying the bill. I want to monetize it to the point that it's a legacy. I'm helping people connect that skill to money that helps them to do more. What is money? This is another question. Anybody, what is money? Money, money, money. Who don't love money here? And we're not defining what is money. Money, you can unmute to respond to this. You can put it on the chat box. Means of exchange. Yes, money is anything people give value to. Yes, money is an idea. Yes, I love that. Money is an idea. So money in its natural form doesn't have value, right? It's just paper or digital exchange of numbers. What makes it valuable is Mr. Amakri accepting that if I give him 1,000 naira, this is value. If I give him 100,000, this is valuable to me, and he accepts it. What does this do for him? This money in its natural form doesn't do anything. It just helps you to buy access to more. Because you don't keep money at home and you feel comfortable. Oh, I'm okay. You're not buying food. You're not buying knowledge. You're not paying. You're not helping. Then it's not valuable. You use money to solve problems. You use money to create solutions. You use money to create opportunities. You use money to buy access. So imagine you have a skill, and this skill is giving you money. And this money is helping you to reach out to more people to do what you enjoy doing. If you like to help, money helps you to reach out to more people that you get to help. If you like to have fun, to jai, money gives you the access to do this. If you like to travel around the world and impact, money gives you the avenue to do that. So is it possible to convert that skill, that little thing that you feel like it's not enough, to gold? I will make reference to Dr. Teresa's presentation this evening. She talked about visiting a friend that baked cookie and ended up making over 100,000 unprepared. This was extemporaneous. It wasn't prepared for at all. It wasn't expected, but she got to make 100,000 out of this skill. So imagine she was intentional about it, telling more people, reaching the global audience. How much would she make from this? That skill you have, is it public speaking? Is it dancing? Is it swimming? Is it tutoring? What is it? Is it writing? Whatever it is, with consistency, with innovation to ensure that you're on trend, you're online, you are in line with the trend, and with the right communication to the right people. Name the amount. You have no limits. Everything is within your reach. It's just to keep at it, be consistent, be innovative, learn more. You need intuition and exposure to knowledge to drive an innovative business. With that, I believe that legacy will be a legacy. So thank you very much, and over to you, the moderator.
Thank you, Abdul Hakim. You said something, you said learning is ageless. So I think it is something we should always put at the back of our mind, that we can always start something new. We can always learn something new. Because of time, I would like us to dive straight into the Q&A session. So if you have questions, you can indicate by using the hand raising feature of Zoom, or better still, you can put your question in the chat box if you have questions for our presenters.
So there was a question earlier in the
Okay.
chat before Dr. Theresa. There was a question somebody raised. I thought you might have taken note of it.
Yes, I
Some
did. Okay. It was actually my question, but I wanted the other participants to drop their questions before you treat mine.
No, yours, you said your question verbally, but somebody dropped a question in the comment section. It said something about I can't even remember who said it, but I know I noted it down. Somebody said, how can a business prioritize?
Yes. So the question is, you spoke extensively on how businesses
Yeah.
can identify areas of innovation. So the question is, how can businesses prioritize areas of innovation? So that was actually my question.
Oh, that was yours.
Fine. I asked two questions,
Oh,
yes.
okay. So what I wanted to first confirm was when you said how can businesses prioritize, what did you mean? Prioritize what?
I mean to know for new businesses, they will have different ideas they want to push into the market. So how would
Okay.
they know they want?
So, I mean, that is a very straightforward thing to do as a business. I mean, before you even said, oh, I want to start business or I want to become an entrepreneur, you would have an idea. There must be an idea. You would say, this is the business I want to start. So maybe I want to start selling water bottle. Answer that. What do you want to prioritize? What you want to prioritize is that business that you want to start. So there's a name for it. It's called unique selling point. What's your unique selling point? What do you want to be known for? It will be a suicide mission if you want to start a business and you have 50 ideas that you want to do. That's suicide, like dead on arrival before you even or dead before even taking off, death before taking off. So there's something that you want to focus on. That is your unique selling point, and that is what you want to prioritize. Abdul Hakim does Skill to Gold. He's all about skills, monetizing your skill. What we're doing today, even though there are three of us speaking, but it's still all about monetizing your skill. How do you monetize your skill? You monetize by being innovative, you monetize by communicating effectively, you monetize by being consistent, creating patterns. At the end of the day, it's still about monetizing your skills. So you want to stay consistent. That goes back to what Coach Amakri said. You want to be consistent in something. You can't be innovative. You can repurpose. You can speak effectively. You can communicate your business in a podcast, in an ebook, in a YouTube channel, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's about skill. It's about skill monetization. So if it is water bottles you sell, you can do even a drama, you can even act it out, you can do whatever, but at the end of the day you are selling water bottle, you are doing whatever it is. So you need to stay focused on what your product is. So that's your unique selling point. You can do it in so many other ways, involve people,
Okay, I lost sound, and is that at my end or